All right, I'm in Belgium officially, right over the French border, at Plopsaland Panne. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but they do have their own hotel. This park's in the $50-ish range, so Six Flags type range for Americans, 50 US-ish. I think it was 46 euros when you bought ahead. So I'm basically here for one reason. I know I'm here for a ride to happiness. Everything else here I know is kind of kid-focused, but we're gonna see. We'll see how it is. It is their 25th anniversary, apparently. This should be definitely something different for me. Hello from Belgium. My name is Corbin, and today I am at Plopsaland Belgium, and you can be here right with me and look at the entire park. This is mostly a kids park, but of course it does also have the world-renowned coaster, Ride to Happiness, which is why I'm really here. This is the first part of my European coaster trip, 6 parks in total, so I hope you watch it all. Make sure to like and subscribe and set that notification bell so you can watch more. My name is Corbin. I'll be guiding you today. This is your passport to Plopsaland Belgium. This is your passport to the world. I'm here 10 minutes after the park opens, so they are festive. This is the main entrance. Kind of interesting. Very themed as soon as you get in. So I am going to go, I've got to figure out how to get there. I'm going to go straight back to Ride to Happiness and get the day started. And look at this, they still have physical maps, which is, to me, an excellent feature. They got the splash pad running despite it being about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely not trying to get too wet today, although I may do the log flume if it looks like it's good. Interesting that this is the Ride to Happiness by Tomorrowland, which is like the EDC of Europe. It's a big electronic music festival. Also, the ride's name is in English, despite everything else in the park having multiple languages listed, English not being one of them. I believe they're probably Flemish, Dutch, and French, if I had to guess. Since we are in the Flanders region of Belgium, those are the most popular languages. I mean, this ride is pretty cool, themed too. Like, I mean, it does kind of look like a music festival set. I am very excited because time traveling in Silver Dollar City is one of my favorite rides. And this is supposed to be 10 times better than that, from what everyone says. So, very neat queue. Very industrial. Getting here early, I think, does have its perks. This is a long queue. And I'm going right up into the station. So I'll see you then. And it's literally a station wait, so I'll get a back row. Why not? Love the holograms. So we are on one train ops. It is a weekday in the middle of May. It's chilly outside, but one train ops, even on their premiere ride. That's interesting. I really like the theming. I'm very excited to ride this one. Also, never heard of this award, but interesting.
The wisdom of nature has brought you here, and you may rest assured it will not desert you on your ride to happiness. After this point, your lives will never be the same. Cherish the crucial moment of change and carry it in your heart. Let's unite and feel the power of nature.
Well, that was pretty impressive. I would say better than Time Traveler. And not by a whole lot. I think they're actually kind of close, but this one has some forces can't really experience anywhere else. I'm in a park full of new rides, and I'm about to just get back on this one while the wait's short. This is pretty great. I could see it making you nauseous. It actually rumbled my head more than most coasters do, and I don't get headaches on coasters, so I could see that. But man, the forces are crazy. You start out with a spinning inversion, which is really freaking cool, and the onboard audio, incredible. It actually, like, it fits the music festival theme that they're going with, which I didn't expect onboard audio. I think that always enhances the ride. I think, yeah, this might be top 10. We'll see at the end of the trip, because we're going to a bunch of theme parks here in Europe. All right, first time was on the back row. This time was on row 2, which is in the first car still. All right, that pushed it up quite significantly, actually. The first couple elements were incredible. I mean, this is how you come out of the station, right here. And then you go into a launch that spins you out of control, which is, I mean, just one of the best starts to any ride I've ever been on. And it is free spinning, so me being a single rider today, it got me some good spins for sure. So yeah, definitely up there with the best coasters in the entire world. And I think that is worth my trip here alone, even if everything else isn't tremendous. But I'm not getting my hopes down for the park or anything. Let's see what else comes in part 2. Kind of medieval themed area. Nachtwacht. I guess medieval and dinosaurs. That's kind of interesting. Unique. Dino Splash. Yeah, it's their log flume. Interesting. It says it opens at noon, even though it's not warm today. Why not? Nachtwacht de Nuit Dragons. So this is definitely a stair park so far. Both coasters had a lot of stairs. But pretty cool queue view. Definitely nothing crazy intense here. You get 2 rides. Quite interesting. They have their own board game as part of their souvenir stuff. Never seen that before. And costumes. Not much I need to say on that one. It's a family-powered coaster. Went faster than I thought it would. And you get 2 laps, so it's nice and long. But otherwise, nothing too crazy. Definitely the worst of the 2 mop coasters, but duh. Heidi the Ride, it's a GCI. Let's see how this one is. I think it's next. Got Pizza Hut. And it's about 6 to 7 euros per slice, or 10 to 12 euros for a personal pizza. Add about 10% to that for US dollars. That's not too bad. Actually, it's a whole sit-down restaurant. Interesting. The theming here is definitely pretty decent for just a small park. And just like at Disney or Universal at home, I'm one of the few people in the park that speaks English, so feels like America. No, really though, there's no one here speaking English, which is fine with me. Again, I think it's kind of cool to be the only one from America that's really experiencing this right now. Sure enough, Heidi the Ride it is. As I was talking about the theming, it's kind of interesting. We just went from medieval to like a Switzerland with no sightline change. So, but cool that they tried. They're actually running 2 trains on this one. Ooh, little dark ride section. Very little. Definitely nothing special. No forces really. It's fast enough. Not terrible. I would say quite a bit less forceless than it looks. Or less forceful. There's dragon going. That one actually feels faster than it looks. Significantly, actually. It's actually mildly thrilling despite looking like that. And then Heidi on the right. I'm going to be posting these all in pretty quick succession once I get some Wi-Fi. So, if you're seeing this, part 3 will be up very, very shortly, if it's not already. Interestingly, they're not open right now, but a beer is cheaper than a slice of pizza. And about the same price as a soda. One more glimpse here, the back part of Ride to Happiness. This is the craziest element. Part 3 of Plopsaland Belgium. It's the K3 roller skater. I don't need to ride this one. I'm pretty good on that. Everything here is themed to things I've never heard of. Except Tomorrowland. That one, the music festival, I've heard of that. Ooh, look at the line on that. I will say the operations here, ooh, they're like on a Six Flags level. There's a lot of, there's some one-train ops, a lot of one-train ops. With coasters like this one, of course, only having one to start with. And, but Ride to Happiness should definitely have 2, I would think. But, no, the main one, Ride to Happiness, they were only running 1 train, but they were operating it super quick. They don't have to actually check the restraints on that one. This is a new type of system. So that was pretty cool. Also, a lot of restaurants closed today, like almost all of them. So I am here on a weekday in clearly the off season in May. It's chilly, but yeah, the operations are not amazing. I can imagine if it's a busy day here, it could get a little bit rough. Little bit rough. It's like a train station here. This attraction is not open today. This one was the hashtag Like Me coaster. It's nothing special. They're actually working on it right now. I mean, it's a Zero or Tivoli. Yeah, I think Zero family coaster. Doesn't look amazing, like I'm missing much. But, yeah, no. Like I said, I knew coming in here, this is pretty much Ride to Happiness and a bunch of other stuff. Apparently, this is like High School Musical or Glee or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm almost as tall as most of the roller coaster. Which honestly is kind of strange for something themed to what looks like a teenager show. Okay, and I'm starting to think Nachtwacht is actually like a show too. They look creepy. Although we're not in Nachtwacht anymore, there's the Nachtwacht Flyer, which is just, it's a pretty tall swing ride. I don't do those. Opens at 1 o'clock. A lot of the rides open a little later. Well, a lot later. And the park's only open till 5 and they open at 1. That's interesting. Little teacup spinner, also not open. You can see Ride to Happiness from pretty much anywhere in the park. Man, this park before that, ooh, I know they got a lot of adults that had never been here just because of that ride. Myself included, because I thought about skipping this and going to like a different Belgian park. Or just going to a city today. Which, I may not be here all day and go to a city anyway. Which would be fine as well. Like I said, it wasn't a very expensive park, so that's fine. This one is Hehuit Anubis. This one's a Gerstlauer. I've heard this one's rough, so we're about to see. quite like the queues in here. Park does a very good job with that. Most American parks could learn something from this. I don't really know what the theme is with it being called Anubis. I would have thought ancient Egypt, but now we're in a hunting lodge? I don't know. Again, maybe Anubis is a TV show, actually. I do not know. Either way, it's kind of cool. It doesn't look like too long of a wait, even with low capacity ride. So we don't have many Gerstlauers in America like that, so nice to have something different. It had a very nice launch. And the first half had some forces, and then it just kind of lingers for the rest of the time. Which, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's nothing I need to get on again. But it wasn't bad. If everything in the park had a long line and that didn't, I'd ride it again. However, that's never going to happen because there's only 6 people per train, 2 trains. So, yeah. This park is down there with Legoland for lowest capacity park I've ever seen. Like, there you got one train that's running like, I think there's 8 rows, so 16 people. The roller skate ride is 1 train. The dragon ride is 1 train. Anubis has 2 trains, 6 people each. And the other one I rode earlier. And that was it, okay. Yeah, so just low capacity all around. And slow ops. Again, I'm glad I came here on a slow day because I'm getting the whole park done pretty quickly, to be honest. And the park is pretty. I will give them, like, I mean, there is no trash anywhere. There's not even much bird poop. Like, it's very clean. The florals are pristine and plentiful. Like, lots of shrubbery, trees, flowers. So I really like that. Looks like we got some sort of little Viking land up here. I might ride the little swing ride. I got one of the shooting rides that ironically is in Isle of Burke at Epic Universe. This actually looks like a knockoff of Isle of Burke, even though this was probably here first. I do really like the setting of that spinner ride, though. I think I might give that one a go. I don't care if you do. I consider it a powered coaster. They could be fun. So, yeah. At this point, I'm in why not mode. But yeah, the water ride, not open right now. Definitely doesn't need to be either. Yeah, that's not a kiddie ride. I'm glad I rode that. Vicky's Vervelwind. Wind Violente Vic. Yeah. It was actually really, like, violent in a good way. Like, it had some forces. I really enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite flat rides I've ever seen. It's so small, you wouldn't expect much. Chocolate fruit and Spanish churros. That's interesting. The chocolate dipped apple's only $4 or €4 still. Look how much churro you get for 6, 8, or 10 euros. It's actually not bad for theme park prices. Coke is the one thing that's so expensive here. It's like $6 US. Le Grotte Golf is this disco spinner ride. Why not? Again, I don't really care what you think. If Dragon is a coaster, this is a coaster. Let me ask you something. Why is this not considered a roller coaster? I do count them. But why isn't it? It is a powered coaster, yeah, but it has like a downhill section, and other coasters do show up on our CDB that are powered coasters. Just in the same park, they have Dracon. So explain that to me, why you want to count this when this is much more thrilling than a lot of things that are considered coasters. It's a very long cycle. That's the third time it went all the way over. And it just did this first little arc about 4 or 5 times before that. And we're still going. That was a solid ride. I've never been on one that has the second hill like that. Been on similar, the one like the Snoopy surf coaster, but never one quite like this. This is one of the only parks I can think of where the flat rides are better than the coasters as a collection. We got a little double-decker carousel. They do have waffles, which I guess would be Belgian waffles since we're in Belgium. They do look tasty. This is one of their new rides, which that's a couple of fat chickens right there. It's not an animal park. It's the only animals here, I think. Some ducks and chickens. But yeah, that is their new addition. Actually, no clue what I'm walking into. It's in Kitty World, so I'm assuming nothing crazy, but it looks dark. Like, very dark. Maybe some sort of dark red then. It looks like an evil penguin. Then we got a sciencey thing. Well, it's a boat ride. Speaking of low capacity, they only load these with 4 people each, even though there's 6 seats. So, it moves slow.
Ben je wel vaker in Plopsaland geweest? Wat zei je? Oh, echt niet? Ja, leuk hè? Oh, het is veel meer en dingen dan in de echte.
So that was called Bos van Plop, La Fort de Plop. Forest of Plop. That was bad. That was, even for a kiddie ride. Like, that was like 7 minutes, I think. Maybe the longest ride I've ever been on. Like, it's probably, no, it's shorter than Small World, but it's more boring than It's a Small World, and that takes a lot for me to say. But, anyway, it's a kid's ride. The Circus Boomba. I actually came back here hoping to get this sandwich. That looks good. But this restaurant, like most of them in the park, is closed. They do have some like farm animals back here. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense because like driving in, you're definitely in a farm area. But I mean, we got like pigeons and bunnies. Cute bunnies. Yeah, I've never seen a pigeon in a zoo. And that's about it in Plopsaland. Back to the front of the park where it looks like they're building something huge right here. But not a roller coaster. So stay tuned to the next part where I get my final thoughts on Plopsaland. If If you haven't watched the other parts, they are all posted. This is my final thoughts on Plopsaland as I go back to Ride of Happiness to get a couple more rides on that. So, I think the theming is very whimsical here. The atmosphere is very nice. Where there's not heavy theming, there's heavy shrubbery and bushes. I like that. I like that they really care about how the park looks. It's a lot like Legoland, Florida, the one I've been to, except it has one of the best roller coasters in the world and Ride to Happiness. All the other coasters here are pretty much family friendly, except for maybe Anubis, but that one's not extreme. So I think it's a kids park that they added a major coaster to, which is the reason I'm here. If it wasn't for Ride to Happiness, I would give the coaster lineup like an F. But because it's here, I mean, I give it like a D. Like, it really is just one really solid coaster, and the rest is just here. The flat rides are pretty cool though. They had a couple that I've never been on, and I thought that was fun. But it's nowhere I need to come back to, I'll say that. If you're a coaster enthusiast, it's pretty much a can't skip because of the one ride. But you could literally come in here, marathon, Ride to Happiness, and not do anything else, and I think you'd be happy. The disappointing thing here was food selection, because everything was closed. Pretty much all the food booths are closed, and almost every coaster's on one train ops, including the best one. So I thought that was kind of bad. Especially, I mean, like the one I showed with the croque monsieur, the ham sandwich, they have advertisements for it all over the park. Like, that's one of their main spots to eat. And it's the new spot. But couldn't try it out. So I'll probably, I mean, it's only 1 o'clock and I'm done with everything. So I'm gonna ride to Happiness a couple more times and probably get some actual good Belgian food in town. So stay tuned, I'll probably post that too. But yeah, stay tuned for more parks from Europe. I am going to, where am I going tomorrow? Wallaby, Belgium tomorrow. So I think that one's more coaster heavy than this one. But we'll see. Plopsaland has some of the most ridiculous merch prices I've ever seen. Alright, got a Ride to Happiness sweater. I wouldn't get this one, this is obviously a girl's one, but like, I was wanting some Ride to Happiness merch. This sweater, 95 euros. It's like $110. See how much the t-shirts are. 65 euros for a t-shirt. That is crazy. Like, I was going to buy an overpriced t-shirt if it was like 30 something dollars, maybe 40, 60 for this t-shirt. I'll just make my own for that price. If you didn't know, I make custom magnets and shirts for roller coasters and music. This is just crazy. Is this one $100 too? No price on that one, but probably. Little tiny plush from that stupid ride, 18 euros. It's like hand-sized. 40 euro for a full-size plush. Hey, just something to know. When you're paying for your parking at Plopsaland, they only accept Visa or Mr. Cash. Oh, actually MasterCard too, but I tried using my American Express card, 2 different ones. I was wondering why they weren't working. That is why. Also, you pay before you leave, which is interesting. You don't pay as you come in the parking lot.